Some local hospitals have a message for people who have recovered from coronavirus. They want you to donate your plasma, which can be used in an effort to treat patients who have the virus and are critically ill. Channel 2's Jeff Praval has more on that.
Medical experts say people who have recovered from the coronavirus have antibodies in their plasma that can fight the virus. It's not 100% proven, but still UB, Kaleida Health, and ECMC want to hear from people who have recovered. Late last week, UB's Jacobs School of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences launched a local effort to identify COVID-19 plasma donors. This is part of a national effort that's been approved by the FDA and being led by the Mayo Clinic. Now, so far, UB says it has heard from more than 200 people who have recovered from the virus and are interested in donating. Experts are looking for people who don't have symptoms and are at least 17 years old.
They have to have had a positive COVID diagnosis with a swab. The reason for that, there are a lot of people who have not been tested with a swab, but we want to make sure that they had the infection, to make sure that the plasma we are collecting will have the antibodies that we need.
The process of extracting plasma from the blood is about 2 to 3 hours. The plasma will be used on more vulnerable COVID-19 patients at Buffalo General, Millard Fillmore Suburban, and ECMC. Roswell Park also is treating coronavirus patients with plasma. Now, all this is being done as researchers continue to look for a vaccine for COVID-19. Now, if those who are eligible and interested in donating, you have to fill out an online screening form. I have tweeted out a link. I can be found at Praval WGRZ. I'm Jeff Praval, Channel 2 News.